Welcome to episode 6 of Fruit Soup Review. I'm your host Timmay, and again we have our market assistant Vinard. So since we last spoke, Vinard, we watched Toy Story 4, and I almost was in my feelings. I was this close to be in my feelings. How did you enjoy the movie?
Oh, I liked it. I didn't think they was gonna do a part 4 because of the way part 3 ended, but I was really pleasantly surprised with how it turned out.
And I was afraid because I was like, wait, 3 was perfect. That was a perfect movie. I didn't need nothing else. I could have retired Toy Story, but I know money you got to make. But it was a pretty good story. They even did some back in time, show you what happened back then. And they even did my favorite song, "You Have a Friend in Me." Yeah. So that was really the heartbreaking moment for me.
I got you.
And so do you want the franchise to continue, or you settled with this part 4?
The inner child in me will never get tired of having another Toy Story. For sure, this one of the movies that when I get older, I'm gonna make my children watch from 1 all the way to 4. And it's just cool to see the progression of each character, the story of Woody, how he moves on
from child to child.
And it really makes you think, like, in your own weird way, is this what toys actually do?
I actually was thinking to myself during the movie, I was like, I wonder if I thought Toys talking again. Like, that'd be so creepy.
Yeah.
And just to switch from being feeling good feelings, we watched Anna, and that movie, I afraid she was killed. This isn't a spoiler because it's in the trailer, but she killing people with plates.
Yeah,
like I like some movies, but I've never seen an assassin kill someone with a plate.
You know what's the best part about those type of movies? They never get old, especially when you have a female character, because you know they really be the ones that really undercover. You never know what to expect, and Anna was a really good one.
And I watch a lot of movies, and my favorite type of movie is the non-linear ones, the one where you don't go from A to B, you start at C, go back to A, go to F. So I like those type of movies where you have to be thinking, like you and your phone do the movie, you can miss the whole movie. And so right now playing at Art Fusion is Annabelle and IMAX. And we said last week, who you think we finally watched Chucky again. Who you think would win, Chucky or Annabelle? You still sticking with Chucky?
I'm not a man who changes his mind, who changes his bets. Have you seen Chucky to me? There's no one who can beat Chucky in the horror movie.
And the thing about Chucky to us was, I actually was kind of afraid because based on how the movie is shot, it could actually happen in real life. To say no dark magic, how Chucky is, this could actually happen today with how the world is. And so coming this week, we have 2 movies that you might not have heard about. One is called Midsommar, and next is Unplanned. So Midsommar is a horror, but if you look at the trailer, you'll see people in the forest with flower crowns. A couple went on a retreat, trifix relationship. So next week we'll talk more about that. And Unplanned, this lady, she did about 22,000 abortions until something went wrong, and she switched sides, and now she's anti-abortion. So you can see that the film Superplex now playing, and the movie we've been waiting for since Endgame, Spider-Man: Far From Home.
It's been a long time coming for that movie. There is actually some debate as to who is the best Spider-Man ever.
To me personally, I think it's the debate.
Who do you have to me?
Tom Holland, and Stan Lee said himself, rest in peace. The best Spider-Man in live action, based on the comic books, is Tom Holland by far.
Timmy, I've known you for close to 2 months now, and I regard you as one of the smartest people in my career. But up until now, I don't.
So who do you think is the best?
The best Spider-Man by far is Tobey Maguire.
And why do you think so?
First of all, he's the one who put us on the Spider-Man.
True.
He has 3 iconic movies.
Well, actually, Spider-Man 3 is the best movie of all time.
Let's not get into all that. But personally speaking, as someone who grew up in the comics, to me, he's the best.
Well, to me, Spider-Man 2 is one of the movies that set this trend for comic movies right now. But I still think, because I grew up on the actual comics first, and when it comes to it being a child in high school battling with powers, I think Tom Holland is the best.
You're entitled to your opinion.
So are you?
But I feel like the right answer is Tobey Maguire.
Fair, and no one said Andrew Garfield, so I guess he's nowhere in the conversation.
Not in the picture.
But the reason why this movie is so important is this movie takes place like a week after Avengers Endgame, and if you ever watch it right now, I'm sorry, it's been 2 months. Tony Stark is dead. So this movie is about Peter Parker trying to grasp with his mentor being dead and trying to replace him as maybe the leader of the Avengers, the biggest superhero. And he said a child. He was snapped for 5 years. All of his friends were snapped too. They're back in school, but they're going on vacation. So as you can see behind us, you have Paris, you have London, and Samuel Jackson recruits them. Sam is back, Nick Fury. And they have one of the classic villains. And I grew up on the Spider-Man comics with Mysterio and Dr. Ock. So now you have Mysterio And what do you expect from this movie? Because with Marvel movies, it's always a secret. That's why I try to avoid that this week. I want no spoilers because I know there's something we aren't seeing in the trailers.
For me personally, I learned that when it comes to Marvel movies, the best expectation is to have no expectations, just so that you could be more receptive to what they have. But if I had to put my finger on it, I anticipate more of his friends to find out who he was, more action scenes, just stuff along those lines.
So tickets are now available right now for Spider-Man Far From Home for Tuesday in IMAX. Also in theaters, you have the re-release of Avengers Endgame. You were asking. So they have about 6 minutes more footage. I hope they don't change the movie too much. They say there's one deleted scene. I hope the deleted scene doesn't change the story too much. Like, I don't want it to be where they try to beef up what Tony did, or I just want, because to me that was a perfect movie. That's number 2.
Do you think that anything in that 6-minute clip will possibly impact the next movie that they bring out?
And I said they may have had a Spider-Man teaser. I know for sure there was a deleted scene where they filmed Tony's daughter in the future. That's like, I don't need that, but of course I'm going to watch it because it's still the Avengers. So it was a perfect movie to me, and like I said, we saw in the trailers for Spider-Man that they opened the multiverse. So I don't know if they may sneak a Spider-Man after the credits scene in there, and there also has a word from the director. So we can look forward to that this week. And I guess I just got the word. Tickets are now available for Lion King for pre-screening for July 18th. So we'll be talking about on our next review. But buy tickets now because we definitely will. So see you next week on episode 7 Food Review. I'm Timmay Vinard. Watch more movies.
Magic.